recently. Oh, there's another research project. You guys know what that means. It's time for part 2. Remastered, reloaded, and in color. This time my topics are: do Britons regret Brexit? How do other countries feel about Brexit? And is Great Britain still divided into Brexiteers and Dreamoners? But as you might know, my introduction always consists of that one word and my cat, so I'm just gonna say regrexit. Now, the election ended up pretty much 50-50. With only 52%, the result to leave the European Union was not definite at all. Instead, people are still fighting and screaming at each other in online forums, and Brexit is definitely not a topic you should broach at a family meeting. With that said, Great Britain is still divided into people who wanted to leave and people who wanted to stay. But not only symbolical. This map shows that people voted very differently in different regions of the UK. This is all very interesting, but our main question was: regrexit? And who could be better to ask than the one and only Boris Johnson? So I rang up to my old friend and kindly asked him for his opinion. But after 1 hour of just staring at my screen and pressing that gorgeous reload button, I remembered an old Chinese saying. If he doesn't answer you, just fly to fucking London and ask him yourself, idiot. Or something like that, I'm not entirely sure about the wording. Anyway, knowing that I did exactly what Sun Tzu would do, I took the next flight to London, took a quick picture in front of the Elizabeth Tower and went to an interview with my old friend. Nah, just kidding, I didn't actually bring my cat with me to London, that would be animal cruelty.
Mr. Johnson, would you ever say that Brexit was a mistake?
I'd rather be dead in a ditch.
Alright, thanks.
But what about all the other people? Newer polls show that 10% of people who voted to leave in 2016 would now vote Remain. In addition to that, more than half of those who didn't vote last time would now vote to Remain too. Now, if you do the math, the result would be very different today. Also, this graph shows that only 36% of young people actually voted, while some other graph shows that the younger the voters were, the more likely they were to vote for Remain. One reason for this change of mind is economy. While Boris Johnson and other pro-Brexit politicians claimed that leaving the EU would not affect or even increase British economy, now that they actually left us, Britons start to notice that they have to pay taxes on stuff that's coming from or going to countries in the European Union. Newest polls show that more than half of us people believe British economy will be worse off with Brexit. I had the same feeling when I read through all of the comments on articles related to Brexit. There was that one group of Remainers who just threw around with arguments, and the Leavers simply ignored them. One of them actually reacted one time, but then just went, "You misspelled that." Another reason is that nobody is really happy with Brexit so far. The Remainers are sad because they didn't want Brexit in the first place, and the others are sad because the negotiations with the European Union are not going fast enough or not the way they'd like them to go. A certain Paul X thinks that the UK should have shown more unity after the referendum. One of the main arguments by Boris Johnson for Brexit was that fishermen would be able to sell their fish better and cheaper. But reality is now that it is way more expensive than before Brexit. The managing director of Plymouth Trawler Agents, David Pessel, states that the deal was absolutely shameful and disgraceful. That's the only way to describe it. They broke their word on every count in effect. Ian Perks, a fish exporter from Brixham, now faces increased cost for paperwork that is now needed to export to the European Union. He's concerned his business will not be able to survive because of the increased cost for exporting goods. If I knew this was going to be the outcome, then obviously I would not have voted to leave, he said. It's all ended up in a mess. We are very, very disappointed. But what do other countries think about Brexit? The European Union says in a short statement, which can be found on their beautiful website, that they regret but respect the decision of British people. And while Joe Biden shares this opinion, Donald Trump had a different attitude towards Brexit. Just like Boris Johnson, he's a pro-Brexiteer. In an interview, he stated that he's happy about the decision, but found it better if the UK was completely independent. Also, he has no message.
I have no message. It's not for me to say, but it's not for me to say what they should be doing in the UK. But it's not for me to say. I'd like to see him be able to work it out so it could go quickly, whatever they work out.
And for some reason he decided to boast in an interview how rich and famous he is. Just watch yourself.
I own a lot of property there. I'm going to Scotland while I wait for the meeting. I have Turnberry in Scotland, which is a magical place, one of my favorite places. I'm going there for 2 days while I wait for the Monday meeting. UK. I have great friendships. My mother was born in Scotland. I have great friendships over there. We have a wonderful ambassador, Woody Johnson. And he's doing it. By the way, Woody's doing a great job. I think there were protests the night of the election both ways. But in the end, we got 306 electoral votes. And one state that, is interesting, one of the states we won, Wisconsin. I didn't even realize this until fairly recently. That was the one state that Ronald Reagan didn't win when he ran the board. His second time, he didn't win Wisconsin, and we won Wisconsin. So, we had a great night. I believe that the people in the UK, Scotland, Ireland, as you know, I have property in Ireland, I have property all over. I think that those people, they like me a lot.
But in the end, he just wants everybody to be happy.
I just want the people to be happy. They're great people.
I personally don't think Brexit was a good idea because I feel like a lot of people are having problems now. And there aren't really any significant positive aspects about it. I don't really know why so many people voted for Brexit, but I mean, they're strange people. They got placed last in a Eurovision Song Contest, those absolute nerds, am I right? This could have never happened to us. What else could we add to the video? Maybe a nutshell where we put all of the stuff in. So people regret Brexit because they have to pay taxes now. Fishermen are sad people. Donald Trump owns a lot of property. Oh yeah, and never take your cat with you to London. Alright, that's it, and you know what they say. Bye!